approval of the minutes from the recess from,
So moved.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded for all the recess meetings to be placed on file. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried. Number 25 on tonight's agenda, an ordinance to revise section 11.12 of the Wisconsin Revised Municipal Code relating to snow and ice removal. We will turn it over to Mike, who is
Saw my email today, what this ordinance will do, would require those people on the corner lot that have got sidewalks to shovel out their corner out to the street, just as much as they have to do their driveway or if they have their own carriage walk or anything else, in order to allow people to walk in this community during the wintertime. Because we simply don't have the staff and the equipment and the materials to get out there and do it. And even the times when we do get out there and are able to at least shovel them away, we still can't get it. There's still blocks of ice, blocks of snow and everything. It's still not ADA compliant. And frankly, it's only going to be a matter of time before the ADA federal committee comes down on all the northern communities and say, it's great what you're doing about regular sidewalks and whatnot there, but you're forgetting the corners at the same time, and order us to do it anyway. So you can see in here, I take that back, but a lot of communities, when you're talking about Beloit, Appleton, Green Bay, Janesville, I could add here the city of Platteville, Lake Mills, and Two Rivers on this list here too. So we're not proposing something that is not done out there.
Mr. Chairman,
Alderman Lloyd. I'm sorry, Alderman Chaplowski.
seeing that I live on a corner, for about 40 years now, I remember going way back when we used to cut those paths through, the former director of Public Works said, we don't want you going on the street. How far do you go through? Because sometimes the snowbanks got pretty big. And he said, well, we don't want you in the street itself. Well, but you defeat the purpose if you only cut it partial way.
This ordinance explains that they have to get out to the plowed area of the street. So basically, in most circumstances, you will be shoveling or snow blowing a little bit past the curbing, just like you do with your driveway. When I'm out there,
3 to 4 feet past.
well, I'm doing the same thing with my driveway,
You know,
frankly. So I'm out in the street, again, public works directors come and go and whatever.
And as far as, do you have to have 2 of them? Do you have to have just the one?
If you have two, you got two. And if you got the one,
Well, technically, if you look at it
because
right
you have to be
now,
able to get.
technically, if you look at it right now, if you're in like today where there's no snow, you're in a wheelchair, there's only the one ramp that goes, but it's like, it goes directly this way, it doesn't go either way this way.
Well, wherever the ramp is, I mean, if you got a corner where you got 2 ramps, then we're talking about
Right.
both ramps. If you just have the one in the middle, which for the most part now is disallowed now under the new rules, and they constantly change ADA
Are you
rules.
kidding?
It's amazing, like anything
Yeah.
else. Then you only got the one in there. And again, my intent here, because it is new, is not to come down the next time it snows and start writing people up and writing citations. We got to get the word out to people in our newsletter, of course, the various other social media that we've got out there. It was my intent to create a normal winter this year that we could kind of get it in, send out warning letters or notification letters. Hey, do you know the new law here and new code? According to AccuWeather and the National Weather Service, we're not going to have much of a winter, so this might carry on into this learning process into next year. So it's not something that, if it's passed tonight, that tomorrow Lewis is coming down here and we're writing hundreds of citations.
I know
That's not
that
my thing.
I have a couple of people that call me from Sunrise Apartments on a regular basis, and one gentleman goes all the way to Walgreens on 84th and Greenfield from Sunrise, and he'll call me and he'll say he can't get he's on one of those little
They can't.
scoots or whatever, and he can't get through, and so he'll call me and we have to constantly go out and salt some of the areas, and we had to clear out some, so this should be pretty positive for people like that. The second one is just like you said, Mick, is that I live on a street with no sidewalks. My driveway is a side drive, so it goes out into the street. And of course, when the plow comes, I have to get rid of the windrow. That's got to go. And then I always have a habit of actually cleaning out all the way to the curb. So I keep my curb always clean so it doesn't build out like, the streets. If people don't do that, it gets further and further and further, and the street gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So it's nice to be able to get to the curb, and I, would would encourage other people to do that, because it does keep the streets open. And the same thing here, it's gonna really help with anybody that's ADA, that needs to use the cross and get through, so I'm
But-
definitely for it.
Mr. Chair.
Not to contradict you there, or not go against you there, but you started your state off saying, I don't have any sidewalks. Well,
Yep.
it's hard to start piling that snow up between the sidewalk and
Correct.
the street.
Yep, you
So you
run out
can't
of
always,
room.
doing what you're doing is great, but you can't always do it on some of the streets. And yes, they do get smaller.
Yep.
Mr.
Alderman Rote was first.
And our plow guys are aware of that, and not by intent, but it seems like when they're plowing, a lot of stuff gets on those corners. I mean, they're gonna be cognizant of the new rule. I'm sure they are, but,
We'll do the best, I mean, we'll do the best.
and you know what I'm saying, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's not
Well,
intentional where
same
they
thing.
plow it all in, but
I can tell
they
you.
always collect there.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you on my streets, sometimes I get walloped with the snow in front of my driveway and I look down the street and pretty much, and other times I'm pretty clear and then people will point, well, of course Lewis is the director, he got it cleared out type of thing. But yeah, I understand. And again, this is gonna be a learning curve here.
Right.
It's gonna take time for, a lot of people do it now, just
Yeah,
anyway, so it's just
There's
a
a lot,
few out
I
there.
don't see a lot of it where
A
people
lot of them
don't.
do it.
Yeah, I know we do our corner, I would help too. Alderman Ranky?
I think basically you are right. It is good for the handicapped people. However, I did live on a corner. Being a lone survivor of my family, I'll put it that way. How extensive are we requesting these people to plow their snow away? Is a path sufficient, or do you want the whole circumference of the corner removed? I mean, this is difficult because we've been very spoiled. The city has come through and obviously plowed out for us on the corners. But I'm thinking of the elderly probably that would have a problem if the snow is very, very high. So, I mean,
It's 3 feet.
what is our
3
expectations?
3 feet. 3 feet just as much as it is with sidewalk. Right now, you're required to have a 3-foot path.
Okay,
And it would be a 3-foot path down the ramp too. You would not be required to clear out the whole corner.
and that's what I wanted
Because
to hear.
the
Okay.
intent here is only with walkers or
Yes.
strollers. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any further discussion? A motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Weigel, seconded by Alderman Ranky. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Number 26, communication from the Director of Public Works, City Engineer, to approve the minimum administration fee of $100 for the residential commercial properties in the city of West Dallas required to remove snow ice from the sidewalks. Mike?
As Scott Post has always reminded us that our fees should have some correlation to the actual amount of work and the costs involved. With the new computer system that IT along with Public Works is working on, we're gonna be able to cut down a lot of the work that we used to do by hand or manually and put it in the computer. So evaluating our administration fee, we feel pretty confident we can go down from $150 to $100. That's just the administration fee. That does not include the
Define.
cost of going out there and
Okay.
actually doing it.
Okay.
This is the checking it out, responding to the complaint, okay,
Measuring the grass.
measuring, this, all that kind of stuff, yeah.
So we're going down?
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
150,
150,
okay.
yeah.
Move approval.
Moved by Alderman Weigel, seconded by Alderman
Just lop,
Rote.
35% off.
Is there any further discussion on that item? With that, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Number 27, resolution authorizing the direct.
Approval.
Moved by Alderman Chaplesky,
Second.
seconded by Alderman Rote. Further discussion? It's the resolution authorizing him to enter an agreement with the state for services described with Wisconsin Department of Transportation for costs associated with construction in the zoo interchange.
We've got mitigation funds through the state for a number of years for the zoo interchange, basically since it started. And now we're getting them again for 2016.
And this would be, if I may,
Yeah, Alderman Rote.
sometimes this covers overtime for the police, right, for full shutdowns and things like that, and,
The cops have got their own.
Cops get a separate
They
fee.
get their own.
This is just
Alderman, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, police and fire, don't they?
Yeah.
Both of them, they get their own
separate account.
separate accounts. This is Public Works
Okay.
and engineering, a little bit engineering.
Any further discussion? It's been moved by Alderman Chaplesky, seconded by Alderman Rote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Number 28, resolution, as I look over here, okay. Resolution to accept the proposal of utility sales and services for furnishing and delivering to articulating aerial lifts for the sum of $220,342. Mike?
Move approval.
Oh, it's been moved by Alderman Weigel, seconded
Second.
by Alderman Rote. Further discussion.
I just like hearing you say articulating.
Articulating.
What are they?
Just,
Articulators.
Lifters.
There we go.
Cherry pickers.
Cherry pickers,
Oh, the
exactly.
cherry pickers, okay,
Used by forestry and electrical,
yes, okay.
and around our building.
And are these, Mr. Chair,
Yeah,
are these trailers or are these sit on the back of a truck or?
These are the back of a truck.
So this is just the lift, not the
Should
truck,
be,
or it's the whole thing?
Yeah, let me see.
I'm just curious what
I
we're
think
getting.
it's, I believe it's just the lift.
That's just a lift, so they still go on truck bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought 220 was a pretty good price for 2 trucks. And budgeted?
Yes.
further discussion from anybody? Moved by Alderman Weigel, seconded by Alderman Rote. All in favor? Aye, opposed, carried. We are going to take items number 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33 as a block. These are all resolutions approving the rate change of the
Move for approval.
Second,
moved by Alderman Chaplesky, seconded by Alderman Ranky on all the items 29 through 33. Is there any discussion on any of these items? Mike, do you want to have any comments on it?
Just comment that it's all related to the budget for 2016. All the fees are flat except MMSD, and they actually went down in some of their customer groups, residential and duplex. I wouldn't say a whole lot. Now this isn't going to
No, but
balance.
it's
their-
better than
but,
going-
I'll make it up somewhere else.
So positive.
With that, it's been moved by Alderman Chaplesky, seconded by Alderman Ranky, items number 29 through 33. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Item number 34, resolution relative to accepting a proposal for Sherwin Industries for furnishing and delivering one asphalt hot box for the total sum of $44,278. Mike?
Budgeted item, exactly as it says, is to keep the asphalt hot so we can go out there and fill our service cuts, our potholes, whatever else we have in the street.
Move approval.
second.
Moved by Alderman Weigel, seconded by Alderman Ranky. Further discussion? All
How
in
many
favor?
do
Oh,
How many do
Alderman-
we have?
Maybe two down there?
Two, see two.
We're
I
getting a
thought there
queue
was
from
only
them.
one.
How about our director too?
Two.
Okay, two.
Okay, thank you.
Marty
Mhm.
and Rose.
It was Marty, and then seconded by Ranky. I got it. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
opposed, carried. Number 35, resolution authorizing the Director of Public Works City Engineer to extend an existing park lease with Lamplight Inn of West Dallas to January 31st, 2016. Mike?
Move to approve.
Yep. By Alderman Ranky, second by
I'll second, but
Alderman Weigel.
we're staying to the end of next month?
Yeah, it's the only thing that we're really gonna change is the rates over there. I had not had a chance to talk.
Yeah,
these
so this is
people.
just like a 6-week extension and we're gonna
Yeah,
look at
just
making
enough. I'll be
maybe some
sending them
changes.
by the end of the year.
Okay.
I mean, they pay $17.50 a month per stall. They have 30 or 40 stalls over there. I mean, it's not a budget balancer. I'm looking maybe $1 or $2 increase for 5 years. It's always been a 5-year contract. We've had it with them, various owners, for years and years and years and years.
I don't know that any of the businesses over there miss the parking. I don't know who else would wanna be using that.
I have never heard of any complaints.
Yeah, I haven't either.
There's
So,
no business.
yeah.
They got their own parking. Okay.
This gives me a chance. It came up a little bit, finance discovered it, and the city attorneys discovered it, and I did it. It's actually, the lease is due tonight, if we didn't extend it.
I, Mr. Chair.
It's one of those
Yep,
things.
keep going,
I
Alderman
appreciate
Weigel.
that you're considering making a change to it, cause too often we just roll these things over and over and over. The next thing you know, it's been 30 years and it's still,
Should go up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at, unless I hear differently, of course, doubling it or doing something like that.
unless I get carried away.
Any further discussion? Moved by Alderman Ranky, seconded by Alderman Weigel. All in favor? Aye, opposed, carried. Number 36, resolution authorizing the Director of Public Works City Engineer to amend existing agreement with Donahue and Associates for engineering services related to developing a standby power master plan for the city buildings in the amount not to exceed $15,000. Mike?
Yeah, as we got into work for the energy emergency generator here at City Hall, it kind of occurred to everybody when we were talking about the systems here, and that the city's got a lot of generators throughout the whole city. Health department, the fire stations, the police, pump station out at the Rogers. We also are at the yard, have got one. Some of these things are as old as, let's see, Station 1, 1969. So it just came to us that maybe we should take a look at all of the generating systems out there and have the consultant evaluate them, come up with a plan of attack. Maybe 2 years from now we replace the 69 one, and have, instead of dealing with all the stuff by emergency all the time, to have actually a plan and be able to budget for it properly and change them out.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah, Alderman Weigel.
so as an example, a generator from 1969, does that get started quarterly or monthly?
Monthly.
Monthly, so it has some hours on it, but probably has no real use.
Not,
It has never ran for more than a day, even if it was ever needed.
at least not in the time that I've been here in West Allis. I don't
But
think
the
we ever had an
technology,
outage yet.
the technology may have changed in that, right? The generator technology has probably changed since I hope it has since 1916. Not that a diesel engine isn't a diesel engine isn't a diesel, but the rest of that is probably changed, so. Yeah,
I'm
we
not
have,
sure.
we have a fairly secure electrical grid here. I mean, it's not like we're out in Prairie du Sac or anything, it's Tornado Alley. We don't, these things aren't getting a lot of use, it's really just the fact that they're getting old.
The report will show what, if age is okay, if they're all right, if we got a serious problem, if we just, this might be a 10-year program.
Yeah.
Very similar to the roofs. I've got a program for the city, for the city's roofs. all
And
over.
we may find that some of these generators are undersized, that maybe when the building was first put in, when the generator was put in 1969, the building only drew, a couple hundred amps, and now it's 1,000. Yeah.
Mr. Chair,
Yep,
could
Alderman.
I ask you how much it would cost to replace a generator?
Well, here at City Hall, the preliminary numbers came in at about $300,000 for the whole thing. Now, it's not only the unit, the generating unit, but then there's switch gear in there and change out of other, I mean, I'm a lousy electrical engineer. Change out of everything else in there in order to, for here at City Hall, since we don't have one already, to make it work. So, I
So-
mean, it's not cheap.
Right, so it would make sense to plan ahead
I feel it does.
for
in
the
my
budget.
studies.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Looking for a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Weigel, seconded by Alderman Ranky. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 37,
Move to
petition,
place on file.
moved by Alderman Chapletsky,
Second.
seconded by Alderman Rote. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We're gonna take, let's see, nope, number 38, Communication from Director of Public Works City Engineer appointing L. Brooks to the Electrical Superintendent in the Public Works Division. Mike?
Yes, Terry Meineke, who probably some of you, if not all of you know, is gonna be enjoying a very well-earned and hopefully a very healthy and long retirement starting this Friday.
Wow.
Well, I don't know, what's your definition of old?
He's younger than I am.
I'll keep that comment to myself.
But Al Brooks has been his right-hand person down there, his lead man, right-hand man for about 20, let's see, Terry's been here for 28 years. So, and Al's been here about for 26.
So Al's retiring in 2 years, is that what you're saying?
Well, we've got, I mean, that's part of the
Well, that's what we're dealing
transition
with right
down
now,
there.
that's what we're dealing, all the baby boomers are pulling the pin.
It's gonna be a point where I'm the only one that's around here anymore.
So why is this coming to Public Works instead of Administration of Finance?
Well, this is just the appointment. They weren't able to get the actual, and I'm doing this assuming that the Administration of Finance at their next meeting will actually approve the job opening. I mean, to leave me without a superintendent would be
Yeah.
not good.
Happy holidays.
So since they didn't have time to get it on the agenda, I'm just telling you now because it is my appointment to make, and with the assumption that they'll approve it at the next meeting, and everything will be good.
So do we approve it and place it on file?
You
or
just,
do we
place it on
place
file.
Just a
file?
communication.
Okay, place on file.
Moved by Alderman Ranky.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Rote. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Number 39 and 40 was,
Move for
the
approval.
public hearings on tonight's agenda with
Second.
the alleys. Moved by Alderman Chapletsky. Who was the second? Weigel? And that is on both 39 and 40. Is there any further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Alderman
I
Rowe.
just, 13-foot alley was up on the board tonight. Are there 13-foot alleys? I've never seen one. Okay.
Well, 'cause
You
you,
gotta come down to this side, Tom.
yeah,
once in a
yeah,
while.
yeah.
Okay, I will.
You guys don't understand a lot of these things, you know.
I had an
We'll
alley.
let you down here, by the way. Might have a, no, I won't say
If you ask, you don't understand.
that. Yeah.
Any further discussion on 39 and 40? With that, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, carried. That is it for Public Works. We will be adjourned. Turn the meeting over to Michael Chapletsky, Chairman of License and Health. Alderman Chapletsky.
Call the meeting in order. Okay, first thing is Candace McGrum.
Of course, I left my cheat
Candace
sheet up.
McGrum.
I have one, I think.
This one's not here. Two letters are sent.
Candace, you live from South Logan Avenue, are you here? Yeah.
Is that
No,
first
he's-
appearance?
No, two letters are sent. One previous certified letter.
Move for denial based on non-appearance.
She's under new matters for consideration.
No,
Instead of
not this
previous- Candace?
This isn't the reconsideration.
No, that's under, it's,
No, but for
Yeah.
63, you have her listed under new matters.
No previous matters. Well, she was calling, yeah, so this would be her first time, why, I don't know, it just says two new letters were sent and one previous certified letter.
yeah, that's posted on that jacket.
So that's I,
It's just being introduced for the first time today, unless this got affixed to the wrong one.
Yeah.
okay,
I
we'll
will
hold
withdraw
that
my
down.
motion.
Okay, we'll hold that down. Okay, Samantha, come on.
You get to sit in the hot seat.
How do you pronounce your last name? Okay. Have a seat. You're applying for a bartender's license. This is a new license. And you're gonna be at, oh, it's a liquor store. Walsh's Liquor. Just one second.
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel.
is it Miss or Ms. Ledez? Samantha.
Yes.
The reason you called in here, because when I give you this license, you know, to work at the liquor store, it'll also let you bartend. And in your background, I mean, it shows an arrest, in 2010 in West Dallas, possession with intent. Okay, is that, could you tell us what happened there?
Yeah, I got arrested with possession of intent, but I was granted an expungement. So
Okay.
I'm actually surprised that anybody actually saw it on my record. Besides that, everything's been fine.
So, it was a marijuana, and was it an ounce, or?
It was less than an ounce.
Okay, I guess I don't know how the intent thing comes into it, but,
They just threw it at me, and I was young and didn't have a lawyer, so there wasn't much fight involved until I got older and I got the expungement.
okay. Yeah, the concern is about drug use. Now, obviously, you're gonna be, it says here you'll be working at a liquor store, but this license would allow you to bartend also, so there's some concern about that. so.
Sure.
You have a bunch of traffic tickets, you know, it's never really good to see, but I don't think there's anything here that's gonna keep me from voting on this. I'm gonna move approval on this.
Second.
Oh, go ahead.
Further discussion. I think it looks like you're gonna be working at Walsh's, which is my neighborhood, so make sure you card.
Absolutely.
So when I come in there, I want you to card me,
I will.
all right? Card everybody. It'll never, just like Pick and Save,
Builds up
they
his ego.
card everybody. It doesn't matter if you're 90 years old, they card. So
Absolutely.
keep that in mind. Card everybody and you'll never, ever make a mistake,
Yes, sir.
okay? That's it.
Any further questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Now it goes to the council tonight for the vote, and, your license will be, it'll be available,
Tomorrow from 10:30 until 3, and then it gets mailed out.
Okay.
So you either come here and pick it up tomorrow.
Can I have somebody pick it up for me?
Only if you authorize them in
write them
writing.
a note.
Okay.
Or it'll come in the mail in a day or two. when it's
Oh, okay,
Christmas.
no worries.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Good luck.
Carlos Orozco. Orozco,
How many appearances on him?
I think this is the second
Two.
one. This is the second one. Certified letter was sent out. Did we receive it? Did they get it? Did we get the card back that they got it, or?
Is the card
Move for
attached to the
denial
file?
based on 2 non-appearances.
I don't see a card. No, I don't see a card attached to it. Well, it's usually on the back, right? I don't see a card attached to it. So we don't know if he actually received it.
Would we have heard, we would have heard back by now if he received it. I mean,
I'd have to see the date of the letter.
Would that be on it?
Sometimes it's handwritten on that, isn't it?
You know, it doesn't hurt to hold it one more. Let's just,
I will
let's be,
withdraw my
let's be sure.
motion.
or we just move to deny based on an inaccurate application. And all the stuff we left off of it.
Well, you got all the above, but
And then he can reapply.
it's Christmas.
Include his checkered past.
If he,
It went out December 3rd.
12 days ago.
but it wasn't signed, which means he probably never received it.
Don't have the card back, and yeah, if he had to go to the post office to pick it up, if no one was home to sign for it.
Yeah. So let's hold it one at a time. We'll just hold that one. Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Hold on, wait.
so that notice told him to be here today. Is that correct? So if he
Yes.
goes and picks it up tomorrow at the post office,
He'll call,
he'll call?
hopefully.
Usually.
Okay. So if he doesn't show up at the next council
3
meeting,
strikes, you're out.
he might say, I wasn't told to come to the next council meeting.
I'll tell him.
Okay. if he
Well,
if
but
he
we'll,
calls. If he
we'll send
calls.
out another one.
Because that was,
Right.
I guess that's where I was getting.
We could have a motion for reconsideration.
And leading right into that, the next one's item 9, Michelle Drury. Did she come? Was she requested to be here?
Yes.
Michelle?
Based on 3 non-appearances.
Okay,
Is there anybody in the council chambers?
And I did speak with her on the phone, and I said if she wasn't going to show up tonight, that would be it.
I didn't see anybody in the council chambers that's not here right now and or that didn't walk out from the public hearing.
okay.
So-
She was saying that,
But there was a woman early on.
you wanna explain to them
Before
what she told you about the,
Like at 6:30.
Sure, that she was
It
having a
signed.
problem with receiving her mail from the post office. So when she did finally receive the letters, it was after the date of her appearance. So then I spoke with her on the phone and I said December 15th, are you free? Yes, she was. And then I informed her that the chair was going to make a motion for reconsideration and this would be her last opportunity. And if she doesn't show up, then
Not even a female.
the whole application process would have to start over.
okay, so, do I have a motion for denial?
So moved.
Second.
We tried.
Any further discussion?
I was just gonna say, do you think we should?
All in
hold it one
favor?
more time?
Aye.
Aye.
Is this based on 3rd non-appearance?
Yep.
Yeah.
Even after.
And your phone call, and your-
a reconsideration, unbelievable.
Okay, then, let's go through, we got item number 48. These are all, well, first of all, we have the finding and recommendation for the Beecher Corner spot. Then we have 66s, 48, 66, 67, 68, and 69. These are various communication from their attorney, summons and complaint, police report, and Department of Revenue report.
And Mr. Chairman, you're looking to place all on file, correct?
Approve
I think-
48.
Approve the findings and
Findings and
recommendations.
recommendations.
And all the rest be placed
I'll
on
move
file.
approval of 48 and put the other noted items on file.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman, if I could, did we ever receive correspondence from the
Yeah,
license
those-
holder or
those-
their lawyer?
No.
Thank you.
Were we supposed to?
Well, we gave them the
They have a
opportunity.
chance.
And sometimes they come in late, but we haven't received one at all, so.
Yeah, and I think the defendant made some, the TV camera, she said she was gonna take it
Well-
to court.
Okay,
But apparently they just haven't, they're done with it.
I don't know.
Okay.
All we know is that they didn't file a
They haven't-
response to
they
the
haven't filed a
proposed
response.
findings and recommendations.
is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. I'll take care of those later. Okay, then we have items number 49, 50, just 40, I think 49 and 50.
Yeah. Move approval subject to necessary requirements.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 51 is the police report. I don't know if everybody's read it.
Move to place on file.
Second.
One second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. I believe that's all we have.
Did we hold one at the beginning?
Pardon me?
No. I was thinking, did we hold one in the very beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Candace McCrum.
Yeah, the very first one.
And we're just gonna hold it to the next meeting?
Yes, as a first appearance.
Yeah, it was her first appearance.
Okay. Is that a move for
Move it.
adjournment?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?